Hi. I know what I was gonna say first. What up, though? It's Lemon here at the lovely airport waiting. I had the notion to get on YouTube kind of all morning, so I took that as record your video, girl. So I'm gonna sit here and record in this hot place. It's about 90 degrees where I am right now. Got to see the sunrise, really beautiful. Yesterday I was super uber tired. I had a lot of energy on the day of the eclipse, so my hangover was crucial. But I want to thank everyone who tuned in a couple days ago to my last recording. I appreciate all the support from my soul group that I'm a part of. I'm going to continue to expand in this process of unfolding the many layers and wisdom of each. So today we're getting closer to the Mercury retrograde going on, but right now Mercury is stationed in Leo. It's going to stop, I believe, at 4 degrees Leo, and retrograde all the way back to Cancer at 23 degrees, and then stop and move back forward. It's going to stop July 31st in its retrograde phase. It'll station before moving forward. Now, for any of those who are not familiar, a retrograde doesn't mean the literal planet moves backwards. Because of our rotation, how we move, the planet stops, but because we're still moving, it looks like it's going backwards. So in description of that energy, even more, like when a pendulum swings back and forth, the strongest force is when it is at a standstill and it has to push back out on either side, and it goes the fastest when it's already in motion on either side. So that being said, the Mercury retrograde is coming to a strong point. When planets go what we call retrograde, it's when that planet gets as close as it possibly can to Earth. And just like when for example, if you have a microphone and you're talking on it, Mercury, and you're too close to the speaker, it usually bounces back a frequency or a sound to let you know, like, hey, you need to move back, turn it down, something. And that's kind of where we're at as a whole community, is that the notion of needing to communicate or needing to read between the lines or needing to adjust how we see something that is coming towards us very quickly, might I add, because the frequency is so loud. It's like you can't help but to, what is it? What do you want? How do I deal with this? You know, that can be a natural reaction to retrogrades, especially Mercury retrograde. And you want to take a softer, calmer, and simmering approach to it. You don't want to get overly excited along with the frequency and let the waves crash on you. You basically want to ride the wave. Read the details. The devil's always in the details. Read the details of each and every commitment or agreement that you make, because those details, that agreement, that conversation, that business idea that you want to walk into, all will be revisited during retrograde season and after, when the Mercury is stationed and goes direct, all the way up until it gets back to 4 degrees Leo, and we're no longer in that retrograde energy anymore. So be wise about what you say. Be wise in conversations. Because it's retrograding back into Cancer. Cancer is the water element. It deals with emotions, and Mercury is about the mind and how we process information. So how we may be processing emotions that at first hurt our ego or pride, dealing with Leo, the 5th house, our creativity, our expression of how we love ourselves, those ideas not moving forth the way that we want them to might cause us to have a bit of an ego bruise, and then we want to go back and figure out, well, why is this happening to me? Why did you do that? Or why is this going on? Or why didn't this work out the way that I started it? You know, Cancer is a cardinal energy. Or why when I first started this I felt like this, but now I'm starting to feel differently. Like, it's a lot of things that are coming to the surface when you ask those type of questions to yourself, that you need to look at and analyze, because the reason why they're coming up and the reason why whatever it is, idea, person, relationship, whatever, no matter what that thing is coming up to your face to tell you, hey, you might want to take a look at this before you go too deep into it, because you might miss something. Now, you don't ever want to stop your life whenever there's a retrograde, because life is a continuous motion. Emotions keep going, waves keep flowing. You never want to stop your flow. Now, even the turtle run the race, okay? The tortoise always wins the race, because it's about having patience and having a grounded understanding of where you are headed, no matter what's going on around you. So take the time during this retrograde from July 7th all the way through the 31st, when the retrograde actually takes place, and a couple weeks after, until it gets back to Mercury for 4 degrees Leo. Just take that entire period of time and see what comes up, what's coming to the forefront of your face, forcing you to deal with it or to make a decision. You know, just see how it feels. Is this aligned with what you really want to do with yourself, or is it going to take you out of the alignment of what you want to do with yourself? So now that the moon definitely is in Leo right now, shout out to my Leos. Not to say everybody else ain't great, but you know, self-love is the best love, you know. But the moon is in Leo right now. The sun is still in Cancer, of course. We also have Mars in Leo, while Mercury is also in Leo. And Venus is making its way or ingress into Cancer if it hasn't already. So we have a lot of sun moon energy going on, besides with the immediate planets, which is sun, moon, Mercury, Mars, Venus. Nothing past Mars and Venus. Jupiter is also retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Pluto is retrograde, but you know, it deals more with our environment and higher belief systems. So our environments are looking like, oh no, I'm going back through this again, but it's okay. We still moving forward, even if it looks like it's moving backward. So I just want to do a spread today regarding not only the current retrogrades, but the retrograde to come, this stationed energy that we all kind of feel. I also want to get a reading off of the energy regarding the Eclipse Hangover, as a lot of us may call it, where things came up within the last 2 days that we need to really sit and get a feel for through and through before we move on to the next step. So, and this is like a tiptoeing, you know, into, of course, what I was saying earlier, the Mercury retrograde. So I do ask for universal energy to help me clarify the overall message we have going on for today, July 4th. As many know, this is the United States of America celebration of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. That was supposed to happen, I believe, before the 4th, but it actually ended up happening on that night, which would symbolize that the country or region, state of whatever it is itself is actually the energy of Cancer. So expect this eclipse season and this nodal axis we're in, which is Cancer, Capricorn, which is why we have the eclipse in Cancer and Capricorn season. Expect a lot of changes to take place with our government and those who are affected by our government and those in power or position of said government. Noted. So I'm just going to do a quick 3 cards. If I need any clarifiers, I'll add to them. So right off the top, I have the 6 of Swords. That is the Mercury in Aquarius card. I have the Chariot, which is a trump card. And it's a 7. Shout out to my baby. That's the Cancer card. And then we have the Princess of Cups, baby trump card. Okay, you see that dragon? Yes, it's a dragon. And you know, they like to tell us that dragons are fictional, but we all know the truth. Okay, and at the overall, at the bottom of the deck, the overall energy is the Princess of Disc. Okay, now just taking a look at this card a little bit longer, as you can see, this is Disc, which is related to Earth. She is dressed, she's covered up, arms is out. She is a warrior, of course. She has a pentacle or a disc in hand. She's also, if you can tell, pregnant. Okay. She has a staff in her hand, which she is pointing down towards Earth with a light. And it looks as if she's in the woods, but there is light behind her. Okay. So just taking away from the illustration alone, this is a time of germination. Like I said before in the previous eclipse energy, this is a time for planting seeds, getting into things that we really want to get into, and seeing where that energy takes us by the time the full moon comes. So definitely, if you haven't already, keep setting your intention every day. Keep working on what you really want to do that makes you happy every single day. Just one thing added into the day accumulates to a big thing. You know, one small sperm cell makes a whole universe of a person. So never underestimate the power of your mind. Okay. So going back to the first card we have is the 6 of Swords, Mercury in Aquarius. Okay, this is a card that is about mentally moving away from something in order to get to the truth of who you are, what you want, and how you can be more responsible. You're gaining responsibility over your mind, how you think, and your thought processes. So now that the eclipse has passed and we're getting ready to go into a Mercury retrograde, we need to be aware of the things that we believe that we know at this present time and moment, because they may actually change for the better. All changes for the better, and because change is inevitable, we have the Chariot here. As many of you know, Bible heads, the Chariot is symbolized as God's love and His Holy Spirit, always in motion, always moving forward, never looking back. The wheels may turn, and you see how big these wheels are. The wheels may turn, but it never stops. It just keeps going and keeps continuing. And Cancerian energy is about starting something new in relation to love, having the psychic attunement with self to have with others, so that you know the energy in the room when you walk into one. So now that we're leaving behind what we think we know already about ourselves or about this world in general, we want to keep an open door to things to come, because when things start moving forward motion, we are already prepared to let go of old ways that no longer serves us or this universe, and we are more than happy to ride this chariot all the way to God's graces. because that's what it's all about anyway. Understanding we are all one, we are all a big connection to what we call God to be. So, one, we're leaving behind old ways of acquiring information or thinking we know everything, so we can move our true selves, our true love, into a divine path that, because it's a trump card that came out, there's no question that this is going to happen. So even if you haven't completely let go of old ideas or old ways of thinking, you're still going to move in the direction you're trying to go in, because law of attraction is always matching. So whatever you put out is what you get back. So even if it's something that you haven't let go of or you do want to let go of, you're still being catapulted into your natural heart's desire. So just be prepared, okay? Last but not least, we have the Princess of Cups. Now, this card is also water. It is a bit of a trump card, so it could be a representation of, well, I said dragon. I don't know why I kept saying there's a dragon on here, but it is a fish. It is a turtle. There's a lily on here as well, and it's a woman draped in lavender, purple, or whatever, and it looked like it's kind of at the bottom of the ocean. So this is a representation of Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. It is also a representation because it's cups of our feelings, our emotions, and because she's already within the ocean, it's just being in your full feeling of, like, you're basically feeling the changes take place. You're feeling your progression coming from princess to queen to goddess to a complete oversoul. Like, you're feeling the changes take place. You're feeling the skin literally peel off of you and shed. Like, that entire process that you're trying, and it does make you feel like you want to cover up a little bit. You want to, you know, because she's completely covered in the picture. If you didn't see, she has on a long dress, but it's completely covering her. So when we go through these types of changes and transformations, we do have an innate ability to try to cover up, you know, what is being peeled off or what is being renewed or refreshed, because it's very tender, it's very soft. On the inside of a turtle or a crab shell, as we all know, is very smooth and it's very gentle compared to its hard shell on the outside, you know. And with these changes and with this transmutation that we are getting ourselves into, we can have the ability to cover up some things that we might not really want to share just yet, and you know, sometimes that's okay. It does help the process if we don't share everything at once with the whole world. Some things we do want to leave for our inner intuition to germinate, grow, mature, and then you'll start to see that seed that was planted start to sprout and grow. So now that we have a full understanding that yes, we're leaving behind ideas that we thought we knew were correct, because we're moving in the divine order that we are all naturally in tune with, and we all naturally are in agreement with, whether we like it or not. And in that motion of moving into our divine path, we have to shed some emotions or feelings in order to be stronger and feel renewed in this energy of going exactly where we need to go. And there's nothing wrong with taking time out. And you know, the eclipse energy, with that being so powerful, it does drain you. It can make you very tired. So if anyone has had a lot of, like, just feeling really drained, feeling really tired, it's okay. It is a natural process, because a lot of information have been coming through emotionally, because the solar eclipse has to do with the moon covering the sun. The sun is a representation we can see on the outside of our solar plexus, the I am part of our being. So that part of who we are was being in touch with who we are in a reactive state, in a responsive state, not just what other people see. So yes, we are sharing some things with people. We are illuminating who our feelings are, trying to show us who we truly are to the world. But it is also okay to understand that not wanting to share every single emotional detail with others is okay. Just understand that this is a natural process when it comes to planting the seed into your heart and you wanting to watch it grow. You don't want to share with someone because you don't want their negative energy attached to it. You don't want to share it with certain people, or you don't want to put yourself in an environment where people can pick away at you going through your cocoon process and turn into a butterfly. Because when someone picks with the cocoon, I can't even say it. When someone picks with a caterpillar, I can't even say that either. Mercury. When someone tries to pick with a caterpillar while it's in a cocoon in a transformative state, going into a butterfly, it will die. It will die, because in its natural process, it doesn't need anything outside of its home to help it transform. Okay? So if you do have any intention, like I know I do, I have an intention that I set about a few years ago about what I wanted to do, and my plan was, I'm not in a state where I'm ready to share all of the details with everyone, but there is a process going on for me where I see it unfolding, and it's causing me to shed certain things or ideas or feelings about myself that I thought I knew when I started this journey, that now I'm finding out maybe it wasn't really what I thought it was. Maybe I need to make more space for me to attain what I want than thinking that I already know everything I need to know in order to get it. So I say that to say I am with you in sharing this elimination process that we're all going through. I am with you through our transformation processes that we have today. And it's okay to release ideas that on a world scale we all thought was the truth, on a world scale we all thought was permanently how we're supposed to think and feel about things, but now we're finding out it's not really the truth. So thank you again for being here with me. I send peace and love and prosperity to each and every one of you. I thank you for tuning in with me today on this lovely Thursday, Jupiter day. So please make it your aim to expand in your awareness of what experiences you have that has brought you to this point today, because each experience we have is just a lesson about what we really want and how we really view ourselves as a whole. So be patient with yourself, and in turn be patient with others, because the tortoise always wins the race. Alright, thank you again. Love you.